Ladies and gents, hello and welcome back. Can you believe it is time for another new moon video? I don't know if you've noticed recently, but time is going just like this. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy Davis, and as always, I am your host for this video. If you are interested in knowing what I do other than YouTube videos, the programs that I run and things that I'm involved in, please go and check out the description of this video. All of my links to my website, my free groups, all sorts of bits and pieces will be there for you to be able to tap into. Please do remember, if you don't already subscribe to my channel, please do go hit the subscribe button and also the thumb up on this video, obviously, if it resonates with you. So here we are again at a new moon, and we are very early in the month with this new moon being the 2nd of March. Now, ladies and gents, I have been warning you for a few months to buckle up because things were going to get fast, things were going to get very active, especially since we stepped into this tiger energy earlier in this month. It's extremely profound what is going on around the world right now. So this new moon is obviously going to bring a lot of things up for people. It's also going to help energize certain situations and bring them through to fruition. So please do note that, as I have been saying all the way along, April 2022 was going to be a huge pivotal period for humanity in general. So if anybody hasn't started their spiritual awakening journey yet, that will be the likely time when we start to see lots of souls in and around the world starting to come online. And remember, that's only a month away. So this new moon is really building up everything that we need to do individually, like for self, so that we can deal with or cope with, or whatever words you would like to use, as the rest of the world start to spiritually awaken. Remember, we must start with our own journey before we can go out and help people. And actually, a lot of people do it the other way around. They go and help people because it's much easier to help other people than do the work yourself. You know, you can see all the faults in everybody else, but it's very, very challenging for you to go inwards and do the work on your own. And this new moon, ladies and gents, is going to be doing exactly that. Now, I did an Instagram live video in the last few days, and during that video, I said that I'd needed to be offline. I'd needed to go inwards on a few things and really take some time out to reflect and sit and make very, very big decisions. A lot of stuff was coming up, and I was trying to figure out if it was my ego or if it was actually really what was going on, because I wasn't being triggered with it. And what was very interesting is my mind was telling me not to believe something, but my physical body, everything about my physical body was saying, you've got to trust. Like it was my intuition telling me that I needed to trust. And this is basically what a lot of you are going to be doing now. As we're stepping into this new moon energy, we are going to be forced inwards to look at ourselves, look at the shadows, look at, you know, how we're feeling about certain things, putting boundaries in place, you know, recognizing where we have these feelings coming up in our body and actually what they mean. And for my self-love mastery people who are doing the course at the moment, you will know we've been through this process. What does it look like? What does it feel like? You know, how can you catch it on the way up? And that's exactly what I'm talking about here. We are going to have to look ourselves square in the eye as we go through this new moon into the full moon, and then obviously into April, which is going to be a huge period of time. Okay, so I have loads more areas that I have to share with you around this new moon energy. So another area that I was told just to bring into your consciousness is very much about the physical upgrades that we're going through at the moment. So we are being brought online in many different ways. We are getting attuned. We are having, you know, all of our chakra systems and our senses and everything like that, we're being upgraded right now. So please do be very loving and gentle with yourself. Now, like I say, it is a very interesting period of time. It's going so fast right now because we have to get online before all of these, additional energies that are going to start coming in. Now, before I move on from, really having to go inwards and sit with yourselves in readiness for April, there is a huge energy coming through of serving other people. Do remember, like I just suggested a moment ago, start with yourself, start serving you, start seeing who you really are and what you really are about, and also being really honest with yourself about what you need to look at, the shadows that you need to look at, the patterns that you are living in, things like that. It's very, very important right now. We have to sit in the shadows to be able to recognize where we are holding ourselves back, and all of us have been holding ourselves back because that's all we have known. So there is no judgment as we go through this process. Please remember, if you need to go offline, if you need to sit in silence, if you need to meditate more, please do that. Surrendering is a massive part of this spiritual journey. Surrendering to the fact there may be some truth. Surrendering to the fact that, okay, maybe my ego is piping up. Surrendering to the fact that you may have been self-sabotaging. Like, this is where we are at. There is going to be a level of honesty that we have to have, starting with ourselves. And do remember, the last 2 years, it's all been about other people. Oh, look what they've done. Look what they've done. Now the camera gets turned on us, and we have to be very, very honest with ourselves. And this is going to hurt some people, because some people are very, like I said earlier, they're happy to look outside, but when it's actually about them, it's very, very challenging to deal with. So just, take lots of deep breaths, get out in nature, and be really honest with yourself. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream into a pillow, scream into a pillow. If you need to go out into the middle of nowhere and scream, please do that. Find out what works for you and go do more of that. So this Pisces new moon is extremely creative. So Pisces generally are extremely creative, and I can vouch for that. My sister is a Piscean, and she is extremely creative. Her art skills are amazing. So allow this moon to bring up your creative flair. You may even find yourself stepping into partnership with somebody, maybe co-creating an idea. Go with it. Doesn't mean that you have to do it, but just go with it and allow the flow. Let things take place. Reflect on whether it would be a good thing for you. Remember, this 222 energy that we've stepped into, and I've mentioned it on a few videos recently, much more about partnerships than being individual. So do recognize that now is the time to be linking arms with people that are on the same mission as you, and creating something, like almost birthing something. I think that's quite a good word, birthing something to help humanity and help yourself and help others go forwards. Health and healing are going to be huge around this new moon. As I've already alluded to, a lot of healing has to start by looking at your shadow. People do not realize that they are overweight because they are holding on to emotional trauma in some instances. They also don't realize that their dis-ease in their body may be to do with emotional trauma. So this healing is very much about getting honest with yourself, looking at yourself square in the eye, and actually, really being clear. You don't need to be clear with other people. You need to be clear with yourself. And if you recognize that actually you've got certain traits going on, the only person that needs to deal with it is you. You don't need to go and share it with people and go, oh my God, I've just realized I've been like this. It's up to you, obviously, if you want to do that, but you don't have to do that. Go inwards, figure out what you need to do to heal. Recognize that you are such an important part of this mission. Your health should be the number one priority for you during this period of time. Self-love is going to be massive over this new moon. Why? Because we're going to be looking at ourselves. Why? Because we're going to be looking at our shadows. We're going to be sitting on our own and really feeling the emotions and the traumas and things like that we've gone through. So self-love is going to be required tenfold. If you love a salt bath after you've done some cleansing work, please do more of that. If you love to be out in nature like myself, honestly, as long as I'm out in nature, I'm happy as Larry. Put me around the horses, I am good as gold. So figure out what self-love looks like to you. It doesn't necessarily mean a manicure, a pedicure, or getting your hair done. It might literally mean getting out into nature or doing breath work or going to a sound bath or something like that. Figure out what resonates with you, ladies and gents. Please honor yourself during this new moon. For us to be able to shift consciousness, we need to be more honest with ourselves than we ever have been in our life. That's going to bring in the healing. And then to help us with our healing journey is going to be the self-love. Okay. Now, for my fellow single people out there, please note that this is a really amazing period of time to be falling in love. How exciting. So if you are open to love, please make sure that you set the intention to like welcome love in. So I've actually set up a crystal grid recently to welcome love in, and already there's shifts that are taking place in and around that subject. Nothing to report just yet, ladies and gents, but the truth of the matter is, set your intentions. What is it that you actually choose? What is it that you're looking for? Are you clear on what you are looking for? Do you need to go for something slightly different because you know what you normally go for might not have paid off so far? So start feeling into that, put your vibration behind it. And if you are looking for love, be open to receive, because there is obviously, you know, a lot of people out there that they're desperate for love, but as soon as it comes along, they're like, I'm scared. So please do lean into that. Please do open up your beautiful divine heart space and allow yourself to feel, ladies and gents. So what else is going to be revealed during this period of time? There is going to be quite a few shifts around money, banking, food, things like that. So there's going to be, I guess it's the normal everyday life, you know, things that we just generally have to do. Go to the supermarket, you know, do our banking, ordering things online, you know, that kind of stuff. There's going to be some shifts around that. So do be open to it, okay? We will be stepping into a much greater awareness of betrayal in and around those subjects, but obviously other subjects of corruption as well. So please, if you are somebody that gets this stuff and you know, please do not be one of the people that says, I told you so, I told you so. Okay. It's very important right now that we step into our heart space and we actually recognize that we must come together in a unified front so that we can get through this. Oh, gosh, it's a busy new moon, right? There is also going to be a massive push for freedom. Yes. For my fellow freedom fighters out there, you know what I'm talking about. So we are going to see corruption coming up, like I just mentioned. We are going to be seeing people you know, out and about, speaking their truth and basically beating the drum for freedom. So please do keep an eye on that. It does not mean you have to get involved if you do not choose to. It might not be a vibrationally, I'll put my teeth back in to say that, aligned with you anymore. However, if it is aligned with you, then please go and do that. We must be trusting what is resonant to our soul right now, honoring it, honoring our authenticity. And if that means you know, back out on the street stomping, please go and do that. It's very, very important right now that we're all sitting in our roles. Okay, very, very important. So, ladies and gents, there's going to be a lot of revelations. There is going to be a revolution. We are stepping into where I truly believe that the spiritual, like the true spiritual awakening, is going to take place in April. So this is a huge month of cleansing. This is a huge month of detoxing. This is a huge month of looking yourself in the eye and owning your imperfections, your stubbornness, your inability to be flexible, like whatever it looks like to you, please own it. Unless you are prepared to own it, we are not going to be able to be stepping through with the ease and grace and flow that we all require. Very important. Now, you might feel as if you're being picked on or nagged or something like that at the moment. Look at what you're not getting. Honestly, please look at it. Look really, really with a beautiful open heart and just go, okay, right, what am I missing? I do it every day. every day I have to tap into things every single day, and I'm like, okay, am I missing something in this situation? Is this a message? Is this a boundary? And I go through this process. I mean, I've been doing this quite a long time, so it's pretty easy for me to sit here and say, oh, I do it daily, but it's not so easy when you're in your starting days, ladies and gents. So the best way that you can start is start writing down things that are annoying you or whatever, and really look at yourself and really be honest with yourself. Like, nobody is out to get you. We are all on the same side. It's very important that we recognize that. Okay, there is so much love to be had, and we are stepping into the love now. It's up to you whether you actually want to go with that or not, though. It's so beautiful. Like, it's so beautiful what we're going to. Anyway, ladies and gents, I'm going to give you a cheeky little ritual. So do pause this video if you need to go and grab a pen and paper, and I will see you back here in a minute. Okay, so let's look at the ritual for this new moon, which is happening on the 2nd of March. This is going to be very much looking at self. Okay, so this is going to basically be the catalyst for you to be able to create change if you wish to. Some of you will be like, right, that's the point where I'm stepping away from this. I've done enough of looking at myself. But, you know, it's completely up to you. If the ritual resonates with you, great, do it. If it doesn't, please just scroll past this bit. Okay, there's a lot of people out there that say that the moon energy is bad and other bits and pieces like that. I don't feel that. I don't feel that there is anything that is bad. I feel it's the intention behind the periods of times or the dates or anything like that. I mean, you know, everything can be used for the good and the bad, but if you are somebody that's like, nah, the moon energy doesn't resonate with me, please just scroll past this bit. Okay. So step number 1, as always, cleanse your auric field. Ladies and gents, we should be doing this daily at the moment, okay? It's very important that we are cleansing all of the stickiness and, you know, this just grossness that's in our auric field that is coming in from other people's BS, you know, your BS, the stuff that they spray in the skies and all bits and pieces like that. So very important, if you can, every single day, give your energy field just a really beautiful cleanse. Step number 2, cleanse your space. So let's say we're going to do the ritual in this room here. Walk around the space and just say, I release all from my past that no longer serves me. Thank you for the lessons. Please be gone. Okay, have the windows open. If you're using something like Sage, Palo Santo, you could probably get away with leaving the windows closed, but I always like to allow the energies out when I do this. Okay, so for this next bit, we're going to drop into a meditation. So you may want to play some music. I always go for solfeggio frequencies because they're just so in alignment and they help the activations within the body. You may have, you know, you might like Enigma, for example, or you might like somebody like Milan or other people that just play really beautiful music where you can lose yourself. If you would like music on, please, please, please do that. If you would like to be, my essential oils are just there, which is why I looked there. If you want to be diffusing essential oils, go to something that, you know, you're drawn to, diffuse your essential oils or, you know, incense or whatever it is that you choose to do. Like basically just set your space up as a really, really beautiful protective space so that you can just allow yourself to immerse in this task that I'm going to get you to do. Then I would like you to drop into meditation for anywhere between about 10 and 15 minutes. So set an alarm for yourself, unless you're somebody that just wants to go off on a bit of a journey, and allow yourself to go for as long as you like. I would like you to visualize your younger self. I would like you to go back to where you decided that you needed to be tough, or you needed to be angry, or you needed to be like whatever it is that you are, you know, like, because we all picked a thing. I picked being very angry when I was younger because I was so hurt and I didn't see it for many, many years. It was only at 35 years of age that I actually acknowledged that I was really angry, really, really angry. So, you know, I had to look at myself really hard, and I didn't like it, and it didn't feel good. And I was like, oh no, it can't be me. It must be other people. But the truth of the matter is, you've got to own where you were at. So most of you will get that feeling instantly and be like, oh yeah, mine's control, or mine's anger, or mine is whatever it looks like. Please just own the fact that that is you, and allow your meditation to go there and visualize your younger self, see the battles that she or he went through to make her angry. Like, look at them, own it, feel it. You know, you might find that this is an extremely emotional meditation, but do that for about 10-15 minutes. When you come out of your meditation, obviously compose yourself, get yourself ready, maybe grab your favorite crystal at this point. So, and in my head, I've got a rose quartz. So you might want to grab a piece of rose quartz or something like that, just to really help anchor the love into you. And we're going to write a letter to our younger self. First, now there's 3 areas that I'm going to give you. You don't have to do this. You might just write a letter to your younger self and that be the end of it. But what I'm going to suggest is the first area that you look at is, what do you need to, like, what is it that you need to recognize about your younger self? What is it that you need to kind of sit with? What are the emotions that come up? Like, what's really apparent now with your wisdom, you looking back at your younger self? So say, for example, I was looking at myself, I would look back and say, okay, babe, you know, let's look at this anger. Let's take a look at this anger. Do we really need it anymore? You know, was it justified? Yeah, do you know what, babe? It was justified. However, is it serving us going forwards? You know, this is the kind of letter that I want you to be writing. So that's one area. The next area of the letter, what or who do you need to forgive to be able to move forwards with your journey? Okay, so what we're basically doing is we're invoking all of the emotions within us, then, and we're basically getting them out of us. The next thing we do is go, okay, all of these emotions have come from somewhere. Normally it's taught behavior. Let's own it and let's recognize that. So what were the contributory factors that got us to that point, and get them on the piece of paper. You might want to write a list, you might want to write a letter to those people, whatever feels good to you. Remember, this is a huge cleansing period that we're stepping into. And the last piece of this letter, what are you going to replace the holes that you've created? So let's say, for example, you've realized that you're angry and that stores in your tummy. So when you remove the anger and you forgive those people, what are you going to replace the anger with? Because you don't want the anger coming back. So what will we replace it with? Will we replace it with love? Will we put platinum light in? You have to decide that. It might be donuts for all I care, you know, like you have to decide what resonates with you. Once you have done that exercise, fold the piece of paper up and just hold it in your hands like this, and just set the intention that this new moon is going to bring everything that requires healing to the surface. It is time to release. It is time to cleanse. It is time to love more than we have ever loved before. You probably need to take a big deep breath at that point. Then what I would do is go and pop it somewhere under the moon, not that the moon will be out, but under somewhere where, like a windowsill or something, where the moon would normally go past, just because of the energy that will be brought into it, and pop your favorite crystal, or maybe even the piece of rose quartz that you've just been holding in your hand, on that piece of paper. And that, ladies and gents, will be your new moon ritual for March 2022. Once you have done the ritual, obviously, if it resonates with you, please do let me know how it felt to you. Did it help bring lots of emotions up for you? Do you feel excited that this is going to be a huge period of cleansing, and we know the end is in sight? You know, this date of April for people to really start getting their awakening journey. Does that fill you full of excitement? Does it resonate with you? You know, you guys might see what's going on around the world currently, you know, with Russia and all of that, and think, oh my gosh, no, this is just gonna, you know, be something different. I'm actually I actually feel that they're creating a lot of noise because they know what's coming in April. So let me know what resonates with you, ladies and gents. Let me know how this sits with you. Let me know if you like the new moon information. Let me know if you're like, no, I'm going to hide for the next month. Do let me know, and I will come back to your comments as soon as I possibly can. Ladies and gents, thank you so much as always. I'm actually going to plug back to a video that I did with Catherine Edwards all around meditation and manifestation. I feel it is a game changer for this period of time that we're stepping into. Ladies and gents, love you. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you in the next video. Lots of love. Take care.